Hey guys, today on the Tyrants In Training podcast, we have director, writer, and the host of Social Screenwriters podcast, Andy Compton, and let's start the show. Hello, and thank you for listening to the Tyrants In Training podcast. I am the host, Kevin Ryan. On this podcast, we invite a guest on each week to lead citizens of their very own country. Today's guest and tyrant is the writer and director and the host of the Social Screenwriters podcast, Andy Compton. Hello, Andy.
Hey, how's it going, Kevin?
I'm not too bad. How are you?
Very good.
Just wondering, because you're the host of, as said, the Social Screenwriters podcast. When you introduce someone and you say Kevin Ryan or whoever, should I put in a little clause here? Should I say host, writer, director, Andy Compton, and edit?
Well, in my first episode, I did that. And then now I just jump into the interview because I record like a thing by myself outside of the interview where I'm just like, hey guys, today on the show, we have blah, 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 and I do like, and then I just say, and let's start the show.
I might ask this of every guest now, just to get an idea of if you were the tyrant or the ruler of a country, would you want people applauding your every move? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I can do that now. I can say, here's the guest, Andy Compton. Yay. There's an applause to put in.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, however you want to do it. I'm on board. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Sure. Yeah, so as I said, we're going to do today where you're going to you're going to rule your own country. The country is going to be a new country. We're going to pop up somewhere in an ocean in the world. So yeah, we might as well dive into it. Do you have any idea where you would place your new country?
Yeah, I would place it somewhere in the Atlantic. Isn't that where the Bermuda Triangle is?
Yes.
I feel like it's in the Atlantic somewhere. I would place mine right on the Bermuda Triangle because I just think it'd be a funny bit and it'd be good for tourism, because it'd be like, dude, what is going on in that country? It's on the fucking Bermuda Triangle. Oh, by the way, can I cuss?
Oh yeah, do. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out whether I should bleep it during it, but curse away. We'll go with it.
Yeah, it's how I talk. I have a sailor's mouth.
Anyway,
yeah, I think it'd be cool for tourism purposes, that we have this kind of quirky thing where people disappear and planes disappear and ships disappear and all these things. It's just kind of a silly little bit. I don't know. So yeah, directly atop the Bermuda Triangle.
It's just funny, and I think everything's fine. I clicked just to check where the Bermuda Triangle is. It's near Florida. It's very near Florida, actually.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, it's actually, I mean, just to the east of it. But when I did, and as you were talking, I could still hear you and everything, whole screen went blank. Just black screen. That is a bit weird with Bermuda Triangle.
That's the Bermuda Triangle, man. It'll get you.
Wait a minute. Is Bermuda near it? Which sounds like a stupid question.
I actually just thought that in my mind too. I was like, God, why are you so dumb? I don't know anything about the world.
By the way, for any listeners and for yourself, you may hear a cat meowing. He's trying to get my attention, but I'm never letting him on this show, so we can ignore him.
Good. I do not want that cat taking my time.
Yeah. Will there be any cats allowed in your country to take your time?
I am a dog person. However, I would allow cats because I'm kind of just an animal lover in general.
Yeah.
So yeah, cats can come. That's all good. I have a slight cat allergy, and I think that influences my being more of a dog person.
Right.
But I can take Zyrtec. Find it on store shelves today. I probably shouldn't do free advertising.
I'm trying to. Every episode seems to have a new sponsor. I'm trying to get a sponsor. So yeah, Zyrtec. Taste of flavor.
Zyrtec. Whatever. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. When your nose is sniffly, reach for Zyrtec.
Nice. I really need to start emailing them before I do the episode though, because
instead of just throwing it in.
Instead of just throwing it, I thought that's
hoping
how
for
it
the
works.
Best.
I thought they'd hear it and then send me money.
Sure.
So just on the Bermuda Triangle, I think if you think of the 3 points of the triangle, it would be Bermuda, then Puerto Rico, and Florida, I suppose.
Okay, there's enough room for me to slide in there with a massive land.
You're going dead center, right?
Dead center.
I mean, yeah. Do we believe in the Bermuda Triangle here?
I do. Yeah, I think I do because there are a lot of YouTube videos made by people with 14 subscribers who have videos about the Bermuda Triangle, and I believe in every one of them.
So they're not just 14 people all doing the same, like following each other's
It is. It's the creator of the
Good on
channel
him.
made 14 different accounts and subscribed to his own channel from those.
And I thought it was 14 different people, but like a close knit group of like
the Illuminati, but the Bermuda Triangle version.
Kind of, yeah. I just thought it'd be a good idea for a sitcom. But
yeah, that would 14, be actually a good sitcom,
right? Like Parks and Rec.
Yes.
Yeah, we control your country in the right dead center of the Bermuda Triangle. So we'll say that. I usually the kind of standard tyrant country is it's big enough for 10 million people. That's just whatever size that is. That's how big it is.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Now that it's in the middle of the Bermuda Triangle, what name do you want to give it? Better. Notes.
Let's call it. You know what? Let's just call it Bermuda Triangle. Can I steal the name Bermuda?
See, I don't know, but I was going to say,
yeah.
You have an idea? I have an idea. Basically, I'm just acting as an advisor. Shut this down all you want. You're in the Bermuda Triangle. There is a Bermuda, but if you want to make it like, oh, you can go to Bermuda or you can go to Bermuda Squared with the little 2.
Bermuda Squared?
Yeah, in the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah, I love it. I love the squared in a triangle. It's ironic. Yeah, Bermuda Squared.
Math geeks will love it. The whole, it's very unique. It's the only country with an equation. Is that what it's called?
Definitely, yeah. Yeah, well, part of it too is I don't like math. So any nerds who like math who are attracted by that name are going to vanish in the triangle. And that's good for me because it's, less math nerds that are going to make me feel stupid. Yeah. So I said up top before we started recording, I wasn't going to kill people.
Yeah.
But I'm already killing people.
You're already.
But just math nerds, they don't count.
Because you said they'll disappear. And I was going to ask, do you mean they'll disappear trying to find your island? Because, Bermuda Triangle, that stuff.
Sure.
Do you think you've almost stumbled upon a brilliant alibi? Because if I say 10 people went to your island, now they disappeared, you must have, got rid of them. You can say, no, never came here.
Yeah. And I'll be like, dude, it's the Bermuda Triangle.
What can I do?
What do you expect, man? Come on. We have documentation of these past disappearances that no one is responsible for except the triangle. So I don't think I can be held accountable. Yeah, I think it's a perfect alibi too. Anyone, and that could be like a side hustle too, like where I'm like a hitman in a way where people want someone to die. They call me. I'm like, put them on a plane, send them here, and it's done.
Won a free
and
ticket
also
to Bermuda Squared, and
yes, and then they like wire me money, and that keeps our economy thriving because I give back to the people who have some kind of like biological anomaly that allows them to exist in the triangle the way I have.
Right. Yes.
Because we put a microchip in each baby when they're born that makes them basically Bermuda Triangle proof. And yeah, that's how it works. So yeah, I know that this is a lot to write down.
No, I'm just getting it to the other advisors. Honestly, okay. I love the energy you're putting out there.
Awesome.
This is straight in.
Sweet. Yeah, this is going a good direction.
These early questions are meant to be the closed questions that you're just going like, what's the name of your country? Jim.
Like
where is it? Mediterranean. And you've already set up.
so much.
All right. Okay, I love it.
Good.
Speaking of which, because you mentioned there about you're now an assassin.
Yes.
What is the origin story we're going to give for you and the country, like how you found it or how you ended up there? Because we assume you're Andy Compton living in St. Louis.
Yes.
Yep. So what happened? How did you arrive there?
Yeah. So I was taking a trip to Florida. I just got my pilot's license. And it was and it was my first time flying. And I thought that I was landing in Miami at an airstrip that they have there. And then I got out and it turned out that I was in the middle of the Bermuda Triangle. There was an airstrip there that when you're above the Bermuda Triangle, physical matter seems to just manifest. Because again, this is like, it's a complete anomaly of the world that no one understands.
Right.
So I, being lost and scared and running low on fuel on my first plane journey, I manifested an airstrip and I landed and got out, and all there was an airstrip in the middle of nothingness. And I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. And then I manifested a city and I
Yes.
manifested a population. Um, and yeah, that's kind of how it all started. And then I manifested the microchips that we put in the babies because we started having babies there and they were all fucked up because we were in the middle of the Bermuda Triangle. So things just weren't going great. And we had to figure that out. So I manifested scientists who had the knowledge to create these things. So yeah, basically it's like a magical world where I can just create anything that I really want, which has been going good for me.
Why'd you say just for you? What about everyone else? Like,
Oh, just because it's such a person. Oh, well, see, it turns out, and this is why I've been made president, that there's something going on with me where I, for some reason, am the only one who has this manifesting power.
Right.
Well, I think it's because I manifested a population who don't have that power because I want to maintain all the power.
Of course,
as you do.
Yeah.
So I think that explains that. Any more questions to poke holes in my story?
So many. It's like every sentence you speak, I have more questions.
Well, I basically have a foolproof explanation now that basically I can create anything I want.
So one of the things when I didn't say this to you beforehand. I don't say this to guests beforehand anyway. It's just a general idea in my head that it's kind of like have you ever played Dungeons and Dragons?
I have not. That's part of the reason I was so nervous about coming on here.
Oh, and it started off wonderfully.
It's going okay.
So one of the things that I thought, okay, I suppose the general rule of this podcast is if I say, your country has an earthquake and what do you do? Or a natural disaster, that a guest can say, oh, no, it's fine. Actually, it didn't happen. No, or if I say the citizens aren't happy, the tyrant can say, no, actually, they're very happy. So I'm like, no, I'm like the dungeon
first
master.
Rule of improv. Yes, and all right, yeah. So I'll switch up my manifestation thing a little bit.
Just thinking, it's funny because so usually I go with that direction of like, no, I'll kind of tell you. When a guest gives an answer, I'll tell you how that went about, and off we go. And we'll deal with that.
Oh, cool.
You are the only one who's immediately went, I have godlike powers. So I am just happily going along with it and seeing.
Okay, yeah. I'll try to keep that in mind though, so I don't make it a cheap excuse for every answer.
Listen, you can be as godlike as you want. You can be like Xerxes in 300 all you want, but
yeah, for sure. I just wanted to go full blown narcissist.
I'll go for it. One of the things I was also going to ask is, just so I can get this right, you had a pilot license. Very cool. You went down, you decided I'd go down to Miami.
Yes. Yeah, I was going to an after party for a Pitbull album release. If you know Pitbull, Mr. 305.
I don't know his phone number, but I've heard of his name.
Gotcha.
I'm just wondering, so you started in St. Louis and you went down to Miami. Now, I'm not great with American geography, but I imagine you were going over land a lot.
I was, yeah. That's why when I got to the water, I realized I made a mistake.
But I mean, between Florida and I imagine Bermuda squared, at least a half an hour of you flying over water going.
Oh, for sure. Definitely, dude. Okay. I thought the same thing. I was like, I was like, this has been water for a good amount of time. Because at first I thought maybe it's like a lake I don't know about in like Georgia or something. You know how bodies of water sneak up on you all the time, every day.
Yeah.
So, that happened to me. And then I was like, oh, because I was kind of like I was thinking about stuff. You know what I mean? I was just like thinking about like a TV show I had been watching. And then, I realized like 30-45 minutes later, like, oh shit, I'm running out of fuel and I've been over water forever. So I'm gonna need a landing strip. And then out of nowhere, man, the clouds parted.
Boom.
And there was a landing strip. And I was like, that's convenient. So I landed, and then I started just unfolding all these secrets that defy everything we know about the known universe or whatever.
You've handled the sudden realization that you have godlike powers very well, to be fair.
Thank you. Yeah, I tried not to let it get to my head.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people would. But yeah,
Yeah,
you seem.
yeah. Yeah, my mom raised me to be, humble.
If anyone, well, everyone who's listening, they can't see you, but you are zooming me sitting on a throne of your enemies.
Yeah, these are just some dead bodies I had lying around.
Lying around. What?
Yeah, they were.
As opposed to others that you didn't. Why are those ones lying around? And what?
Oh, these are just the ones that are freshly dead. I mean.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Once a corpse gets kind of too mushy, I'll have some employees come in and they'll clean them out, and then we'll kill some new people and they'll replace the throne. It takes like 25 minutes.
Yeah, and it's so casual, and I think a first for this podcast. So
to sit on a throne of dead bodies.
Yeah.
Can't believe I'm the only one.
The weird thing is you manifest people and everything, but when it comes to the dead bodies, you don't manifest a chair for your throne, or you don't manifest already dead bodies. You go for I'm gonna have to kill someone to get
kill some people body. Yeah, well, know, believe it or not, like because I can manifest humans, however they are born with free will, so they have their own thought processes and all these things. So then there's some that I just don't click with, like I'll because usually I like to sit down and have coffee with every new person that I manifest. And sometimes it's just like a little bit of an awkward pacing to the conversation. We're kind of starting and stopping over each other, or sometimes I'm not like a big football guy, and sometimes I'll accidentally manifest like a big football guy, like American football.
That is,
so then we just don't have a lot to talk about, so we'll execute that guy pretty quick.
Do you have people around that are ready to execute them, or is it
I have a couple gunmen, because I'm kind of squeamish about blood, to be honest. So I like to leave the room, and then but once they're dead and they're stacked on top of each other, I'm not weird about that blood. It's like the initial wound freaks me out, but then I can sit on top of a throne of bloody bodies, no problem.
So if you walk into the room and you see all the blood, like the bullet wounds already in a body, you're like, it's fine, that's fine. Yeah, put her up on. I need a pillow.
Listen, I know it's kind of weird. All right, I know it's kind of a quirky thing about me, but I'm okay with it if they've been dead for 60 seconds. Usually I like to wait a minute of them, once the life has escaped their body. And then I'm good.
You should manifest a light outside the door, like a red light. So once you walk out, after a minute, that turns on. So you go, oh, now I can go in.
Wow, I actually just did it because that was such a good idea. So there's one out there now.
Because I'm earning my keep. By the way,
I appreciate it.
Thank you. I think you mentioned that you were the president. Is that your official title, or do you want a different title?
Yeah, I like president. That's what we have here in the States, and I am a very uncultured human being in terms of the world. So I know that there's prime ministers and things like that, but it's just it's a little foreign to me and my understanding of the world. Again, lived in Missouri for 30 years. That'll do some things to you. So I am a very closed-minded, closed off. All I know is Walmart and McDonald's. So that's me in a nutshell. So President Andy.
President Andy or President Compton? Andy?
President Andy, because I think it's just funny because I have the first name of a 5-year-old, and I always picture it written in crayon or marker, on the bottom of Woody's boot in Toy Story with a backwards N.
Yes.
So I just think that's a little more silly and fun for the people when they're addressing me. It's not as serious. I mean, I will murder you in the street because I have that power. I won't personally, but I'll have you killed. But I think that kind of eases the tension when they see that my name is, it's just President Andy. He's cool.
On your island of Bermuda Squared, are you going to allow, if you're the president, do you have a Senate? Or are you just going to have a small group of an inner circle of 12? No voting at all?
Yeah, just an inner circle. I don't want the people to have any power at all. Because again, I'm very weird about power struggles and power in general. I was picked on as a child, and now I have this
Right.
like complex.
Yes.
So yeah, I like people to be 100% powerless. I
Love it.
like people to be 100% powerless.
And you're a director, I'm led to believe, yes?
Yes,
Right,
yes,
you're leading
yes,
on
yeah.
set. Okay, I'll keep that in
Yeah,
mind.
I'm a director. I'm a host of a podcast where I
Lovely.
control the edits. No,
Yes.
but yeah, I like them to be powerless. However, like I will elaborate on that later, that I do think that I am a very good, polite, giving, and empathetic leader as long as I like you.
I mean, yeah, I think you've broken the record for the amount of times you've mentioned kill someone in the first 10 minutes of a podcast. But
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
but in a very
Again, though, we need to emphasize though that those people do suck. Like just in general,
yeah,
like they're just kind of like, if you guys met them, you'd be like, Dave's around.
talk to someone else.
Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah, talk to someone else. Try to avoid them at all costs. If you see them at like the store, you would like go down an aisle that you didn't even need anything from, just to get
Yes.
away. Yeah, so that kind of thing. So I only kill people who suck. You know,
That's
cool
that's fair enough.
people. Yeah, cool people, funny people, smart people, just nice people. You can stick around. It's all good.
What if someone is really into maths and they're a cool person? I mean, sorry, that's
yeah.
silly.
Yeah, that's just silly. Yeah, that doesn't happen often. I can say that in all my years of ruling this country, I've never seen it. So
yeah.
It speaks for itself. Yeah.
Yes, that's true. If people want to join your country, if people want to emigrate, are you going to allow them, or kind of free for all, to come in, or are we going to ask questions? Are we going to stop them for any reason?
Yeah. So we love immigrants here. We love people immigrating to our country. That's usually whenever I'll have like a longer sit down coffee with them. Like I talked about having sit down coffees with people that I manifest.
Sure.
When they come from outside of my own mind, I usually have like a slightly longer, like I'll get like a venti as opposed to like a tall coffee.
Right.
And we'll have a chat. I really just need to see their intentions, and we have to give them that chip that I mentioned earlier. We need to implant a microchip that prevents them from like vanishing in our land. It's a very complex science that I won't get into very much, but it works. And yeah, so I encourage it. I love people coming here. We have people from all around the world who have come here who have been kind of cool enough that we didn't have to kill them.
Right.
But yeah, cool, nice. Sometimes if you're just smart enough, but you're maybe not that nice or not that cool, but you are smart, as long as it's not math, we'll let you hang out, because then you're like an asset to our society.
So do you kind of have a standard list of questions you'd ask someone in your own head, I suppose, an idea of what you're going to ask them?
Yeah, for sure. Like, like what are your favorite movies? What bands do you listen to? This is like usually like the cool part of the assessment. What else do we got? We got some other stuff, like do you skateboard? Have you ever had a mohawk? Like just shit that cool people would say yes to.
So do you want to try? I'm just going to say I am Winston. I've come from Ireland.
Okay. I mean, I gotta admit, starting off with Winston already starting bad, but let's keep it going.
It's Winston Hillchurch.
Hillchurch, Winston Hillchurch. Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, well, welcome to Bermuda Triangle Square, Bermuda Squared.
Thank you.
Good to see you. I hope the coffee is up to your liking.
It sure is.
Awesome. So what brings you to Bermuda Squared?
I want to start a online business.
Okay. So will the business be establishing residency, like paying taxes?
Oh yeah, I'll pay taxes.
Bermuda Squared. Yeah, okay, cool. Because you can do online from.
I'm not very good at numbers though, so I don't know how much I'm going to be paying in tax. But I mean,
great answer.
Half my money. Is that about right?
Yeah, let's call it half right now, and we'll talk later. Yeah. I like to leave the amount of money the government can take from you open-ended, so that no one ever has a set expectation, and then it honestly benefits us in government because we can take as much or as little as we want whenever we want. But it's all very chill. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like it's
just cool, knock at the door whatever time. I usually get up whenever. I don't I don't really keep anything with numbers in my house, but yeah. So I don't know what
All
time I'm
great
getting up, but I don't
answers.
have clocks, for instance. But yeah.
All great answers. For sure. So, do you have you ever skateboarded? Do you skateboard?
What's that? Sorry, I've come from I've lived all my life in a flat on the 14th floor.
Oh, okay. Skateboards are like these things that are like a piece of wood on four wheels, and people do.
car?
It's like an extreme sport. It's not a car. You stand on top of it, and it's like an extreme sport where people will do tricks with it. They'll make the board flip under their feet and land back on top of it and keep rolling. They'll jump down stairs, and they'll use it to slide down handrails downstairs and jump over big gaps, and it's really, really cool. So you've never done that?
No, I don't really think I don't think that's safe, to be honest. No, I wouldn't be my thing.
Okay. Okay, yeah, let's just move on.
Yeah, no problem.
Have you ever ridden a motorcycle?
Not exactly.
In what way have you?
I carried a motorcycle up the mountain.
Okay. What was it, like a Harley style bike, or was it like a little Honda motorcycle?
It was the ones with the sidecar, whatever they are.
Oh, cool. Yeah, those are actually really cool. I like those a lot. Yeah. That's awesome. What'd you do when you got to the top of the mountain?
Buried a body.
Cool. That's awesome. How did they die? Were they dead?
We believe so. So it was actually me and a few people that we found them dead with a bag of money. So we take the money, you know.
Yeah, of course.
And we thought we should bury the body, but the ground was very hard. So we thought, well, no, it's going to be hard to dig. I don't really like digging. So we found an old bike, and we said, well, if we put that on top of him, as good as buried, I think. So yeah, that's what.
Right on. Yeah, that is a very cool answer. So Winston, I'm gonna be transparent. I think this went well.
Oh,
I think it went
well. Thank you.
My only thing is we would probably change your birth name to be like Spike or something just cooler.
Spike Hill Church.
Winston, maybe drop the Hill Church. Maybe like Spike Nail or something.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, just something a little more cool and edgy, and we'll probably have you get a tattoo. But yeah, man, I think that we're off to a great start, and I really hope that you enjoy your citizenship here. If you could just step over behind that counter right over there, we're gonna insert a big microchip into your brain.
Do you know, I just say I really love the name change, because I think my business saying like Spike Nails skateboard helmets will really like look good. I think that's going to be good. So.
Oh, Winston. Listen, man, it was going good until you brought up the whole safety helmets. That's just kind of not our thing.
What?
No one really looks that cool with a helmet on. You know.
No, sorry, President Andy. I think I'm talking about a German man called Helmut.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh shit. Okay,
I'm sorry. Parties and stuff. Yeah, sorry. Oh my god.
No. You're completely fine. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So we will just implant that chip in your brain over there, perfect. And I hope that you enjoy your citizenship.
Can't wait to get started. Oh my god, this is the worst. I know Spike Nails. Yeah, write him down.
For sure. Yeah.
Okay, that seems foolproof though. I get what you mean now by letting people in.
Cool. So, glad that I could get that across.
By the way, what house are you living in, President? Spike Nails.
Yeah, it's haunted. It's a haunted house.
Lovely. Yeah, I meant more architecture, but yes, haunted. I'll put down.
Yeah, so it's like it's an old abandoned warehouse where they used to like service forklifts and various equipment to do work with, but we have repurposed it to be the home of the president. Right. And it's nice. Yeah, well, it used to literally be like where they would repair machinery and stuff, but it was so haunted that all of the workers one day they vanished.
Wait, Oh my God. Did you manifest a haunting?
I did not. This haunting
shit.
happened on its own, and that's why it was
Shit.
kind of really scary to all of us here, because
Yeah.
everyone kind of has an understanding in Bermuda Square that like everything you see was created by President Andy.
Yeah.
However, there was this one thing where this building became haunted, and I was like, dude, I swear I didn't do this. I swear to you. I had to go on TV and do like a State of the Union address and be like, dude, I swear this was not me this time. And there was, of course, people in their homes who were like, yeah, right. You know, it was him. Everything here is from him. And I was like, dude, I swear. So that's kind of how that happened. And it was a dark time. Not gonna lie.
There's actually 18% of a poll found that they still think you might have had something to do with it. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, you know, there's nothing really that I could do about that, because it got to a point where I was executing people so often who were disbelievers of me.
Yeah.
That it started even getting to me, being like, oh my God, am I a bad person? Because I've, you know, exterminated quite a few made up people.
Plus, your presidential seat, your throne was getting so tall, it was kind of become a farce.
Yeah, it was. It looked silly.
Yeah.
And I felt like I was like up there, like talking down to the people way down on the ground, being like, are you sure I don't look stupid up here? Yeah. And I just felt like an idiot. So one day I said, all right, we're just going to have to accept that there's going to be some level of disbelief in the leader here.
Yeah.
And again, you know, my mom raised me to be humble. So I was like, I got to just like swallow my pride a little bit and kind of tamper my ego and come literally back down to the ground level. Because
I need to ask, was that the time where you manifested the you know, the airplane slide when they need to slide down the, do you know if in movies where you see like an airplane has crash landed or emergency landing on a runway?
Yeah.
And then instead of go, you know, they get out the slide.
Oh yeah, the big ramp that comes down on the back.
Yeah, so you have to like jump onto it and then slide down when Peter hikes in the plane. So did you have that on the throne?
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I did. And that was kind of just like a cool entrance for me the first time I landed. However, it was kind of shitty because there was no one around. There was no one to see it. And it was just me. And I felt, but we do once a year on May 27th every year, because that's when I landed.
Yes.
We usually recreate it, and every citizen is required to attend. And it's just me flying in on a little, you know, personal plane. And I land and I act like I'm really freaked out, and I deploy the slide. And I slide down and everyone cheers. It's like a very, people cry, you know what I mean? Yeah, because I technically forced them to.
Yeah.
Because there's guys with guns all around the perimeter.
Always guys with guns around.
Yeah, so they're watching you like a hawk to see if you're getting properly emotional seeing the reenactment of the creation of our country.
So actually, I was meant to ask with the haunted house. Is the haunted, because you said it was in an old warehouse with where they repaired machinery, forklifts, stuff like that.
Yes.
So is it a human ghost or is it a haunted forklift?
Here's the fucked up thing: no one knows. No one can really pinpoint what's going on. I've manifested paranormal investigators who are specialists, and we've manifested like tools that the rest of the world doesn't even know about to measure paranormal activity, and we still can't fucking figure it out, man. We don't know what's going on in that building. I sleep there every night, and I don't even know why at this point. I guess it's just that I'm curious to know what's going on in there. So every night, whenever I settle down and all of the issues with our country have been kind of solved for the day, I usually sit down and light a candle, and I have like a Ouija board, and I just try to draw out the spirits and see what's going on.
Any words come up? Any words jump out?
Yeah, I've seen forklift. I've seen pallet jack. I've seen wrench. I've seen power drill. just random little things, and I don't know what they're trying to tell me.
Just wondering, the forklift, the wrench, the power drill, these aren't things that are just in the room with you that you're looking at as you're moving your hands around, are they?
No.
I'm just just asking.
Why would you even ask that? No, that's stupid. No, they're things that are being said to me by Ouija.
Right. Sponsored by Hasbro.
Yes. There we go.
There you go. Aren't they?
Yeah.
No, they're made by sponsor. Yeah, they're made.
They are now.
So your fabulously run country of Bermuda Squared, what's its motto?
You only die once.
You only die once.
Yeah.
Unless you bring people back.
I can reanimate the dead and things like that. But honestly, we don't love doing that because unless like you're doing them one at a time and you keep it very contained, because like one time I reanimated like a bunch of people just as a bit, like me and my buddies we were pretty drunk.
Yeah.
And I just thought I was like, I'm going to reanimate all these fucking dead people right now. And we were all laughing. And then it turned into like this really bad zombie situation that took a long time to completely exterminate all the zombies and kind of get back on track as a country. It was a pretty dark period for us. But
the zombies overran the country, you were saying?
No, they came pretty darn close. I'll tell you what, they put up a good fight, and they were like 28 days later, fast zombies, which are the worst kind. I've learned that they're the worst because in the beginning they were like Walking Dead, like slow boys.
Right.
And then over time they just started like gaining new traits and becoming stronger. And eventually they learned to speak, and they spoke like idiots, but they were technically speaking. And that was a whole nightmare. Yeah, it was a really bad time, but we ended up killing them all off. So now when I reanimate the dead, I do one at a time in a closed off room where we can control the situation. And it's usually funny to see a dead person
That's
just
quite
kind
cool.
of walking around. Yeah.
Do you know, so you've been in, you're Missouri born and bred, right?
I am. No, not born. I was born in Lansing, Michigan.
Okay.
And then lived in North Carolina for a year. And then I arrived in Missouri when I was 3 years old, and I've been here since. I'm 33.
Oh, well then, yeah. So you're most of your life.
Essentially, yeah. I don't remember my life before Missouri.
Yeah. I'm just wondering, do you know what the motto is of Missouri?
I do not. I have no clue, honestly.
I can give you the one for Michigan as well, but Missouri's is let the welfare of the people be the supreme law. It's all right.
That's hilarious because they're always trying to like axe welfare.
Well, there you go. But
that's hilarious.
I think that was kind of that was brought in 1822. So there's probably different senators probably now.
They're a lot worse.
Michigan, you were born in.
Yes.
I don't think that's as good. Neither does this cat who's jumped up. If you seek a pleasant peninsula, look about you.
That seems more Florida.
Again,
they're like a big time peninsula.
Michigan has a bit up in the north of
it.
They have
a bit.
But there's more to it.
Yeah. So, yeah, definitely. I mean, they got the Great Lakes up there. You would think they would have done something with that.
Yes. Do you know what? I have a list of all the states in America, their different titles. They're not titles, motto. They're official mottos.
What's North Carolina, where I spent my year from 1 to 3?
North Carolina is. I actually like this. Well, it's not bad. To be rather than to seem.
To be rather than to see?
Seem.
Oh, seem. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I like that actually. Yeah. I like that a lot. I think that's a good thing. We might steal that. I'm going to go ahead and say that Bermuda Squared's motto is to be rather than to seem.
That's not bad. To be.
Yeah, and we're also going to just through evolution of my manifestations, kind of axe North Carolina's existence from known knowledge of anyone. No one's going to know North Carolina ever existed. So yeah, to be rather than to seem.
Cool. Do you want their flag as well then while we're at it? And
what does it look like? Could you describe it?
So there's white. It's red and white red on
Mhm.
top, white on bottom, and then to the left there's like a column that's blue. Now I'm judging that off a tiny little image here, so if
Yeah,
anyone's
I don't know.
listening,
That sounds super dumb. I think that our flag is going to be a triangle
well,
with
yeah.
a square in the middle of it,
Mm.
and then a triangle in the middle of that square. And I just
Yes.
hope that that's not some kind of hate symbol that I don't know about, because that'd
That
be
would be
really bad
unfortunate.
PR. Yeah, it'd just be bad. It'd be a bad look.
To be
Honestly, the
fair, I
optics are
think
terrible.
it's more likely to be something involving witchcraft, I'd imagine, like a sigil, you put on the ground, a pentagram, or well, not a pentagram,
That's
but
true.
right.
Yeah.
So I think you're fine,
Yeah, that
unless.
is true. Yeah, I'm a fan. We like witchcraft. We encourage witchcraft in Bermuda Squared. But it's just like that thing of like doing like three fingers in the air and the other in a
Yes.
circle. Growing up, that used to mean like asshole. That's what I always thought as a
Yeah. Yeah.
child.
Yeah.
And now it's apparently a white supremacy thing. So you just never know what's going to happen with symbols. So you got to really stay up on that stuff. What's the newest hate symbol and how do I not use it?
Now that we have your motto that you've taken from North Carolina, whatever that country was, I can't remember, or county, state was, I don't remember anymore.
State, yeah.
What unusual list is your country top of?
Let's see. What list are we at the top of? I'm gonna go ahead and say most ocean pollution, because we are in the middle of the ocean, and it's just like we know it's wrong, but it's so convenient to just throw all the trash in the ocean. And it's an issue. It's an issue. I will admit that it is an issue.
Yeah.
We're gonna look into it at some point in the next few hundred years.
Right.
Maybe like switching up the way that we dispose of our garbage. But for right now, we are definitely the world's leader in ocean pollution.
A lot of your citizens have, on some of the most popular talk shows, they've often rang in when reports have come out from the UN, United Nations global initiative, saying Bermuda Squared, they're polluting the water, very big problem. Your citizens have argued that there's more water on the planet than there is land, right?
Exactly.
And if you look at it from a different point of view, on a beach, you have a wave coming in every couple of seconds. The ocean is. So they're saying technically, if you look at the ocean, then the ocean is actually polluting the land by these waves lapping up onto your beaches and stuff. So they just see it as fair game. Do you have anything to respond to that, or the UN are like, what's going on here?
Yeah, I would say I'm amazingly proud of my countrymen for giving that response, because I believe in it wholeheartedly. Yes, we put the trash into the ocean, but the ocean also is throwing the trash back at us. So I think that we're both wrong.
The ocean does nothing with trash. I'll give you that. There's no initiative.
No, and it absorbs it. And then it's like, all of a sudden you're the bad guy for putting the trash there. But it's like, why didn't you make it disappear? Because
why don't you build something with it?
Yes, do something with it. For us, it's out of sight, out of mind. And again, we are big animal lovers in Bermuda Squared. We love ocean life.
Yeah.
But like, what do we do with the trash, man? Like, what can we possibly do with it?
Take.
Yes. So we throw it all in there, out of our sight. And it's been working for us. Now I hear people's concerns from around the world that it's not great. It's not the greatest thing ever, but like you said, it's give and take, like not everything in life is going to be roses and butterflies and rainbows. Okay, we need to have some real discussions about what to do with the trash, because it smells bad. It becomes a health hazard at some point to just keep it around. And we know that you can do like burns, but then we're putting smoke in the air, and that's not good either.
Yeah, suddenly it's suddenly people are anti-air, which
we're just going to be we're going to be the air police now. No. It's just that I think that the best point that can possibly be made by the greatest minds of Bermuda Squared is that there's more water here than land. it only makes sense to pollute the oceans as often as possible.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean,
sometimes we'll like open a plastic bottle of soda and just dump out the soda and throw the bottle in the ocean. We don't even want the soda. We literally just want to pollute. So we do that sometimes.
And I notice you don't actually have any trash garbage men or trash collecting service.
No. People just walk their own trash to the beach and they throw it in the ocean. Yeah. It's actually like a communal thing. Like you make new friends out there at the coast.
Oh, that's quite sweet.
Just like, oh, hey, John. Oh, hey, Susan. How are the kids? Blah, blah, blah. And you're just dumping trash into the ocean. And usually people stand around and laugh as the trash goes out to sea. It's become a thing where I think we bond. And as the leader, I really take a lot of pride in that the people can come together in such a beautiful way.
It sounds like it should be, as you said, it is a social event. So do you have like a big day where President Andy's coming down to the beach today to also throw in stuff? Yeah, I mean,
we do that too. I try not to come out there and be a celebrity or anything like that, but yeah, it does happen, and I think people are pretty excited whenever I make my way out there. So yeah, it's really cool.
What do you like to throw into the water? What do you like?
Oh man, plastic, anything that degrades as slowly as possible.
A merry-go-round.
I would toss one of those in there for sure. Yeah. Plastics, certain types of metal create rust that is the absolute worst for the water. And we usually throw those in there just like as a bit. Yeah, there's basically anything that's the absolute worst is what I'll try to throw in there. I try to use products. I've structured my life and the way that I consume things in a way where I'm always using things that are the absolute worst for the environment.
I think that's a pretty good structured way to live. Yeah.
Thank you. And the craziest part is too that I can manifest cleaning this entire planet. Again, at first I thought that my powers were limited to the Bermuda Triangle's like perimeter, but I've come to realize that like I can change things in California if I want to, or like I can change things
in North Carolina, whatever that was.
I got rid of North Carolina. Yeah, that should have been the dead giveaway that I can do this shit wherever. And maybe one day I will, but for now, I just, again, the sense of community that people get from polluting together in my country is, it kind of overpowers any desire that I have to.
We have on the government website, we have a petition that's come through. It has over 4 million signatures right now. It's a petition to ask President Andy, would he, just for 10 seconds, just to see, right? You can go back to where it is. But if he could manifest all the water on the planet to just disappear, just to see what the world is like, just know, so where the oceans are now, just get rid of all the water, just to be, imagine seeing nothing but pure land.
It'd be amazing.
And you can put it back. I'm sure you can put it back, but yeah.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I would definitely do it because I'm really into the idea of deep sea monsters. And
yes.
I think that's kind of what the lore around the movie Cloverfield is, which I'm a big fan of.
Yes.
Is that monster was awoken from the depths of the ocean, where and this is true. I find it fascinating that we don't have the proper technology yet.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, excuse me.
We don't have just thinking about this.
Just tearing up just thinking about that movie. It's such a beautiful film. But I think it's fascinating. We don't have the technology yet to explore the deepest depths of our ocean because the pressure is just too intense. That truly fascinates me. So I would love to, pull back the curtain, so to speak, and see, are there monsters? Are there caves that go to the center of the earth? Like Brendan Fraser's movie. Because I heard that was based on true events, but I don't know for sure. Journey to the Center of the Earth.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I heard that was based on a true story, but I haven't looked into it very much.
And Godzilla versus Kong had the same thing, where Kong ended up going into the center the world, right? The Earth.
Yes, absolutely. And that's
just,
also based on another true story.
That's another true. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of what I think. Apparently there's like this crazy utopia in the center of our Earth, which, you know, some people don't believe in, and it's like, why not?
Yeah, be open-minded. Don't be
open-minded.
closed off.
Don't be weird. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Closed-minded people are just the worst. So yeah, it's absolutely true, and there's no room for discussion whatsoever that there's a utopia in the center of our Earth. I would love to see it.
Would you ask that of anyone coming to the Bermuda Squared who wants to emigrate?
Oh, if they're open to that.
Yeah, like Spike Nails, formerly Winston.
It is one of our questions. Spike just had good vibes.
Yeah.
So I didn't even go that deep in the interview, honestly, because once I can feel out. Yeah. He just seemed like a cool dude. He was very much against math and numbers. And that's usually, I'm just like, come on in, make yourself at home. Just don't fuck up and you'll live.
Yeah.
Which I know sounds harsh, but I swear I am a kind and empathetic leader. Everyone here does get free healthcare. You don't have to buy groceries.
Yeah.
We just supply groceries and they're all freshly grown and organic. All the meat that we supply is raised humanely and killed humanely.
Except the fish.
Oh, in the ocean?
The polluted fish aren't.
Yeah. No, we have different sets of water where we don't pollute.
Right. Yes.
Fresh fish from there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, we've had some time to think about it. You know, we sat down and we really thought it out. Me and my team of experts. Of course, I don't like bringing them up very much because I like taking the credit usually. Right. And I know that makes me sound self-centered. But I'm personally better off whenever I take all the credit for people's great ideas. And I don't know why more people don't do that, but I'm kind of glad that I've monopolized that thinking. That I'm just, if you live your life 100% self-centered and in such a selfish way that only benefits you at all times, you will be the happiest person in the room. So it's just really, for me, it's like a mental health thing.
I'm gonna write a note. This one isn't on the sheet where I'm writing all President Andy's laws and stuff. It's on the Kevin Ryan, the writer one, just to say do not co-write with Andy ever. But that's fine. We'll go. That's just. But as an advisor, I'm more than happy for you to take all the credit. I have bad news though, because an email came in. So I don't know how to phrase this, so I'll just say it straight. There's a scandal about to come out regarding President Andy. The people at Bermuda Squared are going to find out about it.
Not again.
Yeah. Has a scandal already happened here, or is it back home? Or
there have been many Baker dozens.
Yes.
Of
have you killed many Bakers?
Yeah, anyone who has crossed me.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
So this scandal, I mean, basically, what scandal is going to come out about you?
Oh, you're asking me?
Oh, yeah, you get to pick it. I'm not really sure how that question works, but that's the way it works. Yeah, you get to pick.
Okay, cool. My scandal should be let's see. I feel like I've already completely outed myself about the ocean pollution.
People are still living there happily, letting you pollute the world's waters and kill anyone who you don't think is cool. So what would be scandalous to these people?
Well, okay. I wasn't going to say this on the podcast, but we are responsible for the recent theft of the Statue of Liberty in New York City. That was Bermuda Squared. I'm coming clean. We did it a few weeks ago. Me and some friends, we were hanging out, and we had one too many drinks, and it was like, hey, let's hop on a ship that has a big enough cargo storage to put the Statue of Liberty. So we went over there, and like just by telekinesis and everything, all these abilities that I have, we were able to lift it up off of its, where it stood, and put it on our ship in the middle of the night. Luckily, no one saw it happen, and because it was busy around there. There was hella people, honestly.
Probably
there was
a concert or something. Yeah.
Yeah, there was. Well, yeah, Drake
Both.
was actually
Oh,
playing at the Garden that night. So there was a lot of people around. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be so embarrassed if we get caught. But we
yeah,
didn't. We got away.
right.
And we drove it back to the island and we set it up and we put sunglasses on it, big sunglasses, and we spray painted its hair red, which we
Hmm.
just think there's no particular reason. It just looked cool.
It looked
We were
good, I
like,
imagine.
that's sick. So yeah, and instead of holding that book that it holds, it's now holding
Hmm.
a skateboard. And
Oh,
instead of
okay.
holding a torch, it's a big blunt. And we just thought that was cool too. It's like smoking weed, it's like chill. So yeah, we stole that. And I feel like when America finds out, they're gonna be pretty mad, but like I do just want them to realize that like we just really wanted it. So
Yeah,
I
it was
hope
a
you
good idea at the
understand.
time, surely. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
because
just
yeah, go ahead.
oh,
Go ahead.
sorry, I'm just
Sorry.
wondering, your people are going to be outraged by this. So is it that your people are very pro New York? They were like, no, it's suited there. I like the book thing. I know Spike Nails got very confused by seeing the skateboard. Um,
Yeah,
he's
yeah. He thought it was a
actually
car.
he thought it was a car. Yeah.
Yeah.
He started praying to it. He said he heard voices coming from it, and now he started driving forklifts into the ocean, trying to clean it up, trying to lift stuff
Yeah, he
back out.
spent a
He's
little
got a
bit
bit
too
mad.
time. Yeah, he spent too much time at my house, and
Mm.
definitely, I think the spirits got into him or whatever.
Oh
It's a
God.
problem, and again, I don't know. With me, there's some kind of energy that I have that like conflicts with the natural laws of the Bermuda Triangle. So
Yes.
the spirits, although spooky, they
Mm.
don't like inhabit me ever and
Yeah.
like make me do things that I don't want to do. So that's cool. But then every time I have people over, they are at risk for that.
Of being
And I
possessed.
think that's what happened to Spike.
Damn Spike. I like that guy. Are your advisors or your inner circle did suggest that you go on to Bermuda Square's #1 talk show or nightly news show just to kind of explain yourself.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Has to be done as a
Hmm.
ruler.
Yeah.
So yeah, Anderson is the lead guy. So
Yep.
it's a kind of a
Anderson
cross.
Cooper, weirdly. It's Anderson Cooper.
It is actually Anderson Cooper, or is
It's
it just his
Anderson
name?
Cooper. Yeah.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
Well, we asked if he wanted to come and do it. He was like, my contract at CNN is running out.
Mm.
So I'd love to. So yeah, he cost a pretty penny, but like you get what you pay for, he's doing a great job for us, doing the news every night.
And as we all know, I'm sure anyone who's listening knows, Anderson Cooper's voice sounds remarkably like my own. So as you're sitting
Mhm.
down in a kind of Frost Nixon scenario, sitting across from him, he's going to say, now, this scandal has come out, Statue of Liberty Gate.
Mhm.
Your approval ratings have taken a bit of a beating. It's gone down from 99 to 98.6.
Mhm.
Do you want to explain why? I mean, you've explained why.
Mhm.
People are just wondering why the Statue of Liberty? I mean, they liked the Statue of Liberty. They liked where it was. They said, why not a pyramid? Why not the Opera House? Why not my ex-girlfriend's parents' house? Why?
Yeah. So really, again, this was kind of just me coming from America and thinking like, man, what's the coolest shit that we could take? And coming from Missouri, we have a thing called the Arch, the Gateway Arch. It's this big arch
Just a big arch.
structure.
Yes, I've seen.
It's
Yes,
just a big arch, yeah, but it
yeah.
really is nice to see. And but us being in the Atlantic Ocean already, it was
Mhm.
like, fuck, dude, it'd be nice to just like take the water not have to like get on land and like switch vehicles and all these things.
Okay.
So it was kind of a convenience thing to just roll right up to it and park, and unearth it and pick it up and put it on the ship. So that was one of the reasons. Also, like we were literally, I felt so dumb. We were on our way back with the Statue of Liberty all tied down and everything to the ship,
Yes.
and someone brought up the pyramid, and they were like, "Dude, we're the Bermuda Triangle. Pyramid is like a triangle shaped thing.
Yes.
Also, it has like a lore around it of strange things happening." And I got so red because I was so embarrassed that I didn't think about
It's
that.
not from the water pollution around your country. It makes your skin red.
No,
No.
no, yeah, no. It was just like embarrassment. Like my
Okay.
cheeks just got flushed. Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I blushed a bit,
Yes.
but no, it was a really embarrassing moment for me. I had that person killed who brought it up because it was just such a good idea.
You couldn't
That's
take,
something that I'm thinking about doing that in the future, but also like I kind of know that I need to let this heat cool down from Statue of Liberty Gate. People are mad. I don't know
people
why
got so.
everyone is so mad.
I think you see a lot of people, and I know a senator who you remember you had immediately killed afterwards, but he had written a blog suggesting that one of the pyramid or a pyramid, sorry, this is where my ignorance is shown, that in Egypt is in Alexandria, which is quite close to water as well. So, I mean, if this reasoning you're giving of staying on water, they're saying, well, we would have really liked the pyramid that fits in with everything. Yeah, so they're saying, well, now he's promising in future to go do it, and you know, that's a second chance. And now again, he usually gets credit for everything, but is he doing it now because of this blog of the deceased senator you had brutally slain?
Yeah,
I think that's what
we do have a thing that I'm pretty excited about right now.
right.
I showed all of our top scientists the movie Men in Black, and I paused it at the mind eraser device, and I was like,
Okay.
that you guys, I want you to watch this scene over and over and over. And also maybe there's other scenes that kind of delve into the science behind it. I don't think so, but anyway, yeah, it's in the hands of our greatest minds right now to develop that technology for me.
Okay, so I've spoken to your National Institute of Science, to those scientists that you showed the DVD to. Now, they've said they've been working for 9 months diligently on this. Now, they have said they've developed technology. It was a pause button. They invented a pause button on a DVD player.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Is that what you were looking for? They seem very pleased about it, but they said you stopped the movie and said that's what I want. So they created.
Yeah, oddly, we were trying to make the mind eraser device, and we ended up making the remote control from Click. And I'm just taking the remote control from Click because I think that's pretty neat too. It's a fantastic film. So yeah, I'm like living my own Adam Sandler dream. It's been going pretty good. It hasn't done anything to solve the outrage, or the suspicion, I guess.
Can you, I suppose, can you promise now that maybe perhaps you could use that Adam Sandler Click remote control to get a pyramid onto the island?
Yeah, another embarrassing thing. I tried to manifest one, and it just didn't have any special kind of powers, like an anomaly. It
looked like a boob, President. Let's be straight here. It looked like a boob.
It looked like a boob.
It looked like a boob.
It was humiliating. Yeah, people started calling it the boob. And I was like, no, it's the pyramid, dude. And they're like, looks like a boob. And it was just this really embarrassing thing. I would walk outside and like people would be like, hey, how's your boob? And I was just like, shut up. And I was getting bullied really, really bad at that time. And I had all those people killed. But yeah, so it didn't have like the special power and it didn't have the look. So we've ultimately come to the decision that we are going to have to steal that as well.
Will you put a pyramid beside the boob?
Oh, no. We've already demolished the boob. Again, it was a big source of humiliation for me while it was up. And right now, again, I would like to have that mind eraser thing to make people forget that it happened. But we just can't nail down the science to that either. And I'm starting to find my limitations of my manifesting power. And I'm actually nervous because I'm starting to think that the power is getting weaker. Kind of like the way like in Space Jam, whenever the Monstars or the NBA players lose their skills to the Monstars.
Yes.
I kind of feel like that, like I'm losing my powers. It's pretty concerning. That also happened in the movie Last Action Hero, where the kid starts losing the power of the golden ticket.
The ticket. Yes.
Yeah, the ticket.
Great movie. We watched
one of the best. Co-written by Shane Black and David Arnott.
Because that didn't do well when it came out, I think.
No, it didn't. And even today, it has a 39% on Rotten Tomatoes. But Google users rate it 87%. And I usually find Google users and critics always are on opposite sides of the spectrum. Every movie.
Oh, by the way, besides us having a nice little chat there about Last Action Hero, that was also included. Anderson Cooper is very, very into Last Action Hero. So I think that humanized you a bit. So, your poll has gone up to 98.84.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, we'll take everything we can get right now. I'm so used to being at 100 for, a long time because I basically exterminate anyone who has a lesser rating. Yeah. We don't have to get into that again, but yeah.
I was just thinking with the pyramid and then the boob, it would have been nice if you had them beside each other because it could be a representation of the advancement of Tomb Raider graphics.
Oh man, that's actually brilliant. Yeah.
If you just throw that in there, maybe, but yeah.
Maybe we'll remake the boob in that sense and make it like a Tomb Raider exhibit.
That'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it?
That would be very cool, honestly. Yeah.
So as we've moved on from there, well, I have 4 questions left I'll get to, okay? So the first one is your guy in finance, Paul, he's just emailing asking, we have a lot of money. He is pretty much the only guy in government who has some bit of knowledge of numbers. He can add, basically. He can add numbers, he can subtract. He doesn't want to get too far into it. He values his life.
Got it.
But he knows there's enough money. He knows, look, I know you can manifest anything. The people would like to build you something. Do you know what I mean? You do a lot for them. You let them live most of the time. Go on, let us build you something. So what monument could we build to you? What do you want?
Well, we already did the Laura Croft thing because that would have been cool.
Yes.
I think that we might build maybe an Arnold Schwarzenegger Last Action Hero era just massive monument, kind of like the Rocky Monument that they have in, I think, Philadelphia.
Do you want the Colossus of Rhodes? Do you know what that is? Check. Did you watch Game of Thrones?
I did. I'm one of the very few who did not.
Okay, let me think.
I've seen one episode and it was pretty crazy.
Do you remember? Did you watch Lord of the Rings?
Yeah.
Do you remember? I don't know how well you remember now. Do you know in the first movie, near the end, where they're in little boats, they're sailing down the river. It's before Boromir kills. Spoiler alert! It's too late now. They come across these 2 giant statues, one with a hand out, like that, stopping people.
I think so.
Now, what I'm kind of getting at is that the Colossus of Rhodes, it's a giant statue of an ancient Greek warrior. It's lost now. I think an earthquake destroyed it, but it used to be an old wonder of the world. 33 meters high, 108 feet. Okay, this mightn't show anything.
I see it. Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, so you could have that. I mean, over 100 feet tall statue of
Arnold.
Of Arnold.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, the brown leather jacket.
Yes,
that he had on in that movie. Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, let's go with that.
Do you want him on? I was thinking. Cool. I think he had a convertible in that movie. But do you want him on a skateboard, or do you want him in the car, or standing?
Yeah, skateboard. Everyone here gets around on skateboard. We don't have cars. Right. Because again, we don't like air pollution.
No.
You can throw anything you want in the ocean, but keep the air clean. So him on a skateboard, and then I would love to if when people walk by, there's a sensor that would make him say it's turbo time, and people would just it's from Jingle All the Way, and that would kind of be the silly part of it is that people would be like, wait, isn't that from Jingle All? And then they just come back to oh man, our president's such a quirky guy. That's hilarious.
Plus, we had a survey of people, and what we noticed is a lot of people who watched Last Action Hero haven't gotten around to watching Jingle All the Way, and vice versa. So it's a really good way of getting people, if they're don't really get. I've never really seen Arnie in that sort of jacket, and then he says it's turbo time, but that is
I know the line.
Know the line. That's him, all right. Yeah. So we can definitely get Arnie up and running.
Yes, yeah.
Turbo time.
I'm hyped about it. Yeah, for sure. I hope that's not offensive that I tried to do an Arnold Schwarzenegger impression. I mean, we're not worried about that, right?
I don't think. No, he doesn't.
Yeah.
He might be flattered if he listens.
Yeah. I think so. Yeah, because it was spot on. I know that it was a spot on impression.
If I can, when I get Arnold Schwarzenegger on this podcast, I'll ask him to do a President Andy impression.
Oh, cool.
And then we'll balance out then. Whoever's offended will be offended the other way.
Definitely.
Right.
I mean, I know I'm going to get some angry reactions to that on Twitter, but I'll weather that storm. It's okay.
You can. Yeah.
Yep. For sure.
Yeah, cool.
For sure.
I got another email from Paul though. As I said, he can add and subtract not very well. It turns out the country didn't have money. There was a minus sign in front of the number at the end. So the country is actually bankrupt. So the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, are just a bit concerned. They are asking, what plan do you have to make money quick?
Yeah, very easy answer. I'm gonna manifest more.
Oh,
I don't even know why you guys are mad. You guys know that I can do that. So I basically go into meetings like that and just try to make them feel as stupid as I can. Because I'm just
do you want to do the meeting?
We can, yeah.
Oh, okay.
If you want to. Just know that there's no hard feelings, but yeah, let's go ahead and reenact it. Yeah,
President Andy. I mean, we're a bit concerned here. I mean, you're over 10.
Oh, are you?
Oh, definitely, yes. I mean, we don't see a country that is so anti-mathematics and arithmetic and whatever else being 470 trillion in debt.
Oh, is that how much? That's how in debt we are?
Yes, and it is rising by 4 trillion every month. See,
is it?
Yes, the Arnie statue, as you built. I mean, the software engineers who are programming it, I mean, are charging you so much, and nobody seems to have an idea what to pay or what they shouldn't pay. You're going to need money and fast, or else we're going to have to come in and take over the running of the country to get it on firm financial footing. What is your idea?
Okay. So you are concerned about me.
I'm concerned about your citizens more. Yes, all citizens of your country. Yes.
Oh, my citizens who fucking love me, dude. You're concerned about them? All right, let me tell you something.
Yes.
Okay, this might be different for you because you don't live in Bermuda Squared. You don't see how we live every single day. You don't see
live in the center of the world. I mean, in Mexico.
Mexico, the center of the world, for sure.
Yes, sure.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't know if our message just isn't getting over to that part of the world, but listen up, okay? Because I'm only going to say this once.
Right.
I can manifest anything I want, and that includes money. And that capital that I manifest here, it translates to whatever form, whatever system of money around the world, okay? If it's yen, if it's the US dollar, if it's whatever, I can always there are ways that I can create money in those countries as well. Okay, now I know I said that my powers are limited in certain ways, but like are we all forgetting in this room that I made North Carolina disappear?
I have no idea what you're talking about. What are you talking about? What?
Exactly, dude. So honestly, I'm offended that I'm even getting called to this meeting because I canceled a lunch. I was going to eat lunch with someone at Denny's and we were going to have breakfast, but now I'm here. We were going to have breakfast for lunch, and what's better than that? But it's cool. It's cool. I'll take time out of my day. I'll come here. I'll talk to you fucking idiots, and we'll get to the bottom of this, even though it's literally summed up in one sentence. I can make money appear. So what are we talking about? Why are we here?
You know what? Just from listening to you, even though you've been really insulting, I also want to pay for a conference for a talk you do on how you can earn money fast. You can play the stock market.
That's my side gig.
I can make money.
Yeah. So again, what's that?
Sorry, I thought your side gig was killing people.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean,
rule of law.
I'm just kind of a guy who has I have I have a lot of different things going on.
Sure.
You know what I mean? A lot of different ways to make revenue. I'm kind of like a Gary Vaynerchuk in that way, like a Gary V. My social media presence is really strong. I'm encouraging everyone to get out there, be an entrepreneur, make your own path.
Yeah.
you can do anything you want if you set your mind to it, as long as it isn't the same thing that I want to do, because then I will have you killed or whatever. But that's just life. So it's one of my many side gigs.
I suppose that meeting did go well in the sense that the IMF went okay, and they got distracted by even how you spoke, so they've signed up for your 16-week program and how to make money fast.
For sure. And the secret is really just like, forget about numbers. If you worry about numbers, you're not going to make money.
They limit you.
Yeah, it'll limit you. Yeah, because numbers signify like an amount of something.
Yes.
And that's annoying. It's nerdy. It's stupid. So let's get that off the table now. You got to think of money in terms of just, are you, it's really one question. Are you balling or are you not balling? And you want to be balling. So there you go, dude.
Do you know, I mean, I'm from Ireland, right? From countryside in Tipperary in Ireland. If you, me saying to you, I'm balling, would, I mean, it would be spelled different, I imagine, but it would mean I'm crying.
Yeah. We have that. Yeah, we have that meaning.
So is that what you mean? Well. You're either balling or you're not balling. You're either
yes. And if you're balling, it's because you have so much money that you're crying happy tears, and that's what we mean by that.
Yeah.
So ball out. You know what I mean? Fully. Do your thing. Buy a Ferrari. It doesn't matter. We're all gonna die tomorrow.
Love it.
Not tomorrow, but someday.
Just want to throw in here, it might be a bit late, but this is a light entertainment podcast for anyone listening. So on the second last question, just a quick one. I imagine I know where this one is going. There was a coup attempt, unfortunately. That 1.4% of people in the country weren't too happy with you. It amounted to 24 people. What you want to have done with them. When I say a coup attempt, by the way, they were looking to get rid of you, to axe you, kill you out the door, throw you into some fresh water.
So I've been told.
What should we do with them?
Throw them in the ocean, man. They're trash.
Throw them in the ocean. Do you want them
like garbage?
Do you want to tie them to any rusty telephone pole? Throw it in there with them.
Rusty telephone pole, old forklifts, old pallet jacks, whatever we have lying around. Honestly, the torch that we took out of the hand of the Statue of Liberty to replace it with a blunt.
Yes.
Tie it to that. The book that we replaced with a skateboard, you could tie one to that. And then the whole community kind of comes together on this. Usually happens whenever there's any kind of traitor in our midst, is that the whole community comes out. We all come on the beach. We have a barbecue. It's really fun. The kids come out, they play games, but then at some point we drift the traitor out to sea and we watch them struggle and then sink. Do you know what? I mean, I'm saying this so callously, and it's a bit dark. I'll admit it if you think about it, but I'll keep it on the lighthearted side. When initially, when I said, "Oh, where are you going to tie them to?" and you said about the torch, for example, so you would imagine the torch and then a load of rope and then tied to it, right? Like they're secure. Like that's how you do it and throw them in. Well, as you were mentioning other things, like you mentioned the book, right? Yeah.
So you have the book and you have the torch and you have a forklift and whatever else. I just thought then, wait, do you mean you tie, like there's one person and he or she is tied to all those things? So like there's rope around the torch and then an arm. And then he has to be armed to go on, and then his leg.
Yeah, one limb, one massive object for each limb.
Yeah, that's so awkward, and
we want their last thoughts to be like, oh man,
I'm uncomfortable.
I look so stupid right now. This is embarrassing. The way that my body is contorted.
To be extra annoying with the barbecue because it smells good.
Yeah. We starve them for a few days and then we make them smell the barbecue the whole time. And the kids get a good laugh out of that, usually, that specific suffering.
I won't lie, Andy, your voice is very smooth and relaxing, but some of these words come out.
Oh, sorry, man.
Utterly horrible.
You gotta be a leader. You gotta be a leader.
thank God I don't offer a transcript of each Zoom, because this would read much worse.
I was thinking about in the future, if someone ever takes a snippet of this, I'm gonna do some explaining. It was a 90-minute joke.
I started a Twitter account for this podcast. Oh, it's
I need to follow it if I don't follow it.
Tyrant _podcast for anyone who wants to follow. But I was thinking what I need to do is look back at other episodes and just take like a good quote for each episode or something like that. Because without context, you might think, what the hell were they talking about? And I feel like this episode has a lot.
Yeah. Hey, I tried to deliver a very detailed idea.
I knew going the God level of power route would be interesting. So the final
it's so funny because I initially set out to be like, I'm just going to be like this beautiful utopia where everyone thrives.
One of the people.
But then once we got into the Bermuda Triangle thing, it was already over.
And in fairness, before we started recording this, I also said, no, I prefer that. I prefer a nice, chilled person who comes on and tries to do what's best. And immediately you were stacking up hot dead bodies that you could reanimate just to kill them.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. It was just whatever came to my mind. Sorry. I don't know what that says about me. Yeah. I was just going off the top.
The final question is, at some point in your life, I imagine you'll decide, you know what, I've done enough for this country. It's time to let someone else have a go. You want to do your own stuff. Maybe you want to go to Miami finally, right?
Yeah. I was supposed to be there a long time ago.
Pitbull probably has another album by now.
Yeah, he probably. I guarantee he's had a few. Yeah, he's probably thinking that I just ghosted him. I should call him. I know I should call him, but it's just awkward.
I think his number is 305. You said.
It's just 305. Yeah, that's the area code there, but his number is just 305. You dial through. It's like an emergency service number in Miami.
If you want to get onto Pitbull and do your own thing, want to leave the country behind, who are you going to name as your heir? What are you going to tell the people? By the way, just for this, when I say who you're going to name as heir, it can obviously be anyone you want to name. I'll just limit it to like, it can't be someone who isn't actually around. So it can't be someone who you say like my future grandson, because you know, But who would you name as heir? What would you tell everyone?
It is the original actor who played Charlie Bucket in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. And we're just going to do a basic recreation of when Gene Wilder handed off the factory to him, and they get in that like that telephone booth type thing and shoot through the roof.
So are you going to reenact the entire movie just to get to that moment, or are you just going to?
Absolutely. Yeah, no, from beginning to end, like we're going to make chocolate for it. We're going to put out 7 golden tickets. We're going to bring people in. They're going to learn lessons about morality and, you know, the type of person that you should be in the exact same ways. Someone's going to drown in a chocolate river. Someone's going to become a giant blueberry. Someone's going to be dropped down a bad egg chute. It's going to be the same exact thing to get to that ending.
Am I led to believe, though, that when you reenact this movie, you will then take credit that this is an original creation that you've just created?
Absolutely, yeah. Correct, I'm going to write and direct the film as well. Yeah.
For sure. Do you think he'd be up for that?
Writing and directing.
Oh, sorry, no.
The original.
Do you think Charlie Bucket?
Yeah, is his name.
Do you think he'd be up for a reprising role and taking over this country?
I mean, if he isn't, we would have to kill him because he knows the idea now. And I just don't like my ideas being out there and being talked, because you know that he's going to make a post on Reddit like, hey, I talked to this guy who's making this movie. Yes, ask me anything. He just happens to be the leader of a country, Bermuda squared. And yeah, I just don't want that leaking. So we'll kill him if he doesn't want to do it. It's also awkward that he's probably an old man at this point. I'm not even sure if he's still around. If he's not, then I apologize. However, we would just maybe find a kid and make them play that role. And then anyway, at the end of the movie, I figured that even if we got a random child who was born in Bermuda Squared. I think that by the end of shooting, we would shoot it chronologically. So he would live through all of those lessons that the Oompa Loompas and Wonka teach us along the way. And I would play Wonka. And by the end of it, they would be so morally grounded that they would be prepared to take over the country. And then it'd just be from there cutting back on those morals when you need to kill people and pollute the ocean.
I have some good news for you, President Andy.
Yeah.
First of all, the actor who played Charlie Buck, his name is Peter Ostrom. He is very much alive. So that's very nice. He is 64 years old.
Oh, that's it. Awesome. Yeah, he's young.
No. He is also, because you said that this might be your guy. Okay.
Yeah.
He is a former child actor, and nowadays he is a veterinarian. He looks after horses.
Oh, wow. We could definitely use him here. That's amazing.
So, that seems like someone you'd get along with. Yeah,
absolutely. We'll probably honestly fire up the plane tonight and maybe go kidnap him out of his home.
Sure.
And
bring the family or?
No, leave the family. Because I've just found that whenever we kidnap like a public figure, like a known person, to bring them here because we admire their talents.
Sure.
It's usually messy to bring the family here, and there's some level of divisiveness of like, let's go home, and it's like, we can't go home, they'll kill us, and blah blah blah, and it makes me feel really guilty, and I don't like feeling guilty. I like living in this fantasy world where everyone just believes that I'm good even when I do terrible things. So
So do you think you're ceding power over to Peter Ostrom, former child actor? Are you going to live on the island, so are you going to head off to Miami, or I suppose?
When he takes over, I will probably hand over the haunted warehouse to him, and I'll just take off to Miami, go see what Pipple's up to, maybe see my family for the first time in a few decades. I had small children right before I left, so that'll be interesting to see them again, and they're all fully grown and probably have a lot of hatred towards me that we need to start mending.
Let's hope they can manifest, because that could.
Oh man, if I passed on that gene, then they're gonna manifest something terrible for me. But hey,
that's for another podcast.
That's another podcast, man.
Guess, Okay. President Andy, former President Andy of Bermuda Squared. Thanks for bringing up Peter Ostrom to give him a new job. That's quite cool.
Absolutely.
I imagine he's 64. He's probably finishing up the veterinarian work soon anyway.
He's probably gearing up for retirement.
He's probably looking for his next line of work. So what I'll say is, you, as I said, you have the other podcast. Is there anything you want to plug?
I will plug my podcast. It's a screenwriting podcast called the Social Screenwriters Podcast. On it, I interview different writers that I've met on Twitter and I think are cool. And I interview them about who they are as a writer, what is their brand, their writing process, what's their experience been like in the industry thus far. And it's kind of cool because I think a lot of up and coming writers like it because it's people who are on the same journey at this moment of trying to get in. They're not established usually. I have that podcast, and then I have a short film. I'm actually dropping a trailer for it. It should be out by the time that this comes out. It's called Ethan and Edna. It's a little dramedy movie. That's it. You can follow me at Andy Compton _ on Instagram and Twitter. The podcast is at Social Writer Pod on Instagram and Twitter.
Nice. I was going to say, I hope the questions are the exact same as your questions to new citizens of Bermuda Squared. Are you a nerd? Do you like maths? Why do you write the numbers?
How bad do you want to live?
This is my podcast now. I can decide what to do. Okay, so this is the end of this. Strangely, I someday I need to do the murder count on these podcasts. This might beat
the most
previous record, which was nuking the Vatican City, which I imagine is going to be high count. So this probably is the most, but quite sweet. God level ability, President Andy.
Yeah, I hope I didn't. I hope I didn't do a bad job. I hope it was a
No,
good
it's Flying
podcast.
City. Hey, you didn't have to pay for anything because I mean we didn't really want to. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks very much everyone for listening. I'm sure we'll be back next week in another episode. And goodbye.